great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. But yeah, right now, I mean,
Well, welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 878 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? I don't know. The lighting's not too good in this joint. How is everybody? How are you doing? How was your day? I just had a nice chat with my good buddy, asylum attorney extraordinaire, Brian Manning, here in Dallas, Texas. He was kind enough to come see me at the hotel. And I'll be here for the next hour and a half or so trying to answer your immigration law related questions. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and now Chicago, Illinois. One of my rocks to work on this quarter is to get our Chicago office up and running. If you were going to open a new immigration office in a new town and you wanted to build it up and find the immigrants, where would you look? What would you do? If you were in charge of marketing a law firm in Chicago, tell me what you would do in the comments, please. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get the show started right away. I'm going to go to Thank You, Uncle Jim. Hello.
Hi, Uncle Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm a little bit nervous, sorry. So please be patient with me a little bit.
All good.
Thank you. Okay, I have a few questions to ask for myself and one for a friend.
Okay.
On the form, I have an interview scheduled for next month. So I noticed that on the forms I-130 and I-485, it asks other names ever used. So I wanted to ask, it is only legal names or any other nicknames and names that are known by family and friends?
I would say the latter, the second one.
Okay. My second question is messages with my in-laws. I have messages with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. I wanted to use that as a bona fide evidence, but they go by my Muslim name, Mariam, which is not legally recognized. Can I do that when it comes to USCIS?
Yes. How would you explain so did you convert or you've always had two different names or what's the story? Like how would you explain to them that Miriam is you is my question.
Well, I go based on Mariam as a nickname, but my legal name is not Mariam. So all on my documents is, let's say, Susan.
Mhm.
But Mariam, it's my Muslim name, but it's not legally recognized.
Well, what if you got an affidavit from the two people, the mother-in-law and the father-in-law, and say, hey, we know Susan. We know Susan is married to our child. Susan, we refer to her as Miriam because that's her Muslim name. So, tie that way to me, you tie the evidence that you have of the text messages so that they know who they're talking to. And if you can get an affidavit from them that says that, then I think you're good to go.
Okay, so I can do it without an affidavit?
You can do it without an affidavit. I'm just saying if you get the wrong officer, they're going to say who the heck is Miriam? We don't know any Miriam.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And yesterday, as I was going through watching almost all your videos with my husband, thank you so much for the videos again.
You're welcome.
So I noticed that on the I-130, where it asks for my social security number, I mistakenly entered my husband's social security number. What is the best way to correct this before the interview?
I don't think you have to correct it before the interview. That's something you can correct at the interview.
Oh, okay. So we don't need the errors, I think. We don't
You can do
need
it.
it.
You can do it in Rada sheet, but I don't think it's something that important. I would just tell them at the interview they're going to say, "So what's your name? What's your date of birth? What's your social security number?" And I said, "Oh," and I would say, "Oh, I'm glad you mentioned my social security number. On the form, I listed my husband's, but here's mine," and then give them yours. Not a big
Okay.
deal.
Okay, thank you. So this is my friend. She's actually listening, but she's at work. So she gave me two questions. Um, she is currently on an F1 visa and has been working under her solite owner business. She is now married to a U.S. citizen and is preparing to file for her adjustment of status. She would like to know, does she need to disclose her business on Form I-485? If yes, where exactly on the form
Time out,
should
time
she?
out, time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. Way too fast. I can't keep up.
Excuse me.
So now we're talking about not you, but your friend. Your
Yes, now
friend,
it's a friend.
your friend is on an F1 visa,
Hmm.
and your friend has been working like when they're where they're not supposed to. Is that what you mean?
She has her own solid owner business.
She has her own side business.
Yes.
Okay, well, okay, and so she's been making money,
Yes.
and she's been working for that side business.
Yes.
And the question is, what does she disclose it on her 485?
Yes, because she's currently a student,
Yeah,
an
so
F1 student.
right. She's married to a U.S. citizen,
Yes, he's married to a U.S. citizen.
so that'll get forgiven. But those are all violations of her F1. She needs to disclose that.
Yes, so she wanted to know where exactly should she disclose it on the form I-485.
Well, so I can't tell her that so much because I don't tell people just how to fill out forms. What I'm saying is she has to answer yes to the question, have you ever worked without authorization? Have you ever violated the terms of your visa? She has to say yes to those. And then she lists all of her employment. She has to list that on her employment.
Okay, sounds good. This is the last one, please. This is an other friend too. So she was an au pair, but wasn't aware that she was supposed to file taxes during her 2 years as an au pair. Now she also has an interview coming in October. She wanted to know if that's going to be an issue or that's going to stop her from getting her green card for not filing for the 2 years as an au pair because she wasn't aware.
So when's the interview?
Her interview is in October.
So she has plenty of time to amend her taxes, right?
Yes.
So that's what she should do. She should file her taxes.
Okay. Is that gonna stop her from getting her green card, even though, or no? No.
No,
Okay. Thank you so much, Uncle Jim. Thank you. That's all.
you're welcome. Good luck. Have a good day. All right, all right. That was a nice call. Nice way to start off the show. What a nice lady she was. Let's talk to Saul. Saul, hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for everything. I have a quick question. I have applied for naturalization. Uh, did I need to describe one of the, in the crime offense kind of list? I have mentioned one citation. Did I need to add like a document describing that? Because like in the N400, it just asked you what is a charge, what is a fine, and it's just 15 characters. It's online form, so it doesn't describe anything. So did I need to describe what happened in separate document or something?
Yes, and there's a place on the end for additions and extra information. So what was the citation for?
The citation it is a city ordinance for code violation, but the way they described the charge was like illegal dumping. So because they found trash in my property, they say it is loose and it's not in a plastic bag. So they say they're charging me. So, but the way it sounds, the charge, it seems like, I don't know, it's kind of like, so that's why I need to describe it, what happened. That's what I thought.
So illegal dumping, that's what I always charge my children with when they stink up the bathroom, illegal dumping. So did you have to go to court?
No, I just find it like 300. That's all.
Well, but did you get a ticket and you paid it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a court proceeding. So you have to answer those questions. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained? You have to say yes, and then you have to um, give them proof that you took care of the ticket, right?
Yeah, I did that. It just like, did I need like, because it says like illegal dumping, it seems like I throw it in some random place. It, I thought like maybe
Yeah,
did I need to
they'll,
describe it?
they'll ask you at your interview about that. That's all you need to do.
Okay. Is this a big issue? Do you think like it's a big issue?
No,
Okay.
no, but
Thank you.
just make sure you provide proof to them that you paid the fine.
Yeah, I the slip and all the documents they send me, I attach them
Okay,
in the form. Yeah.
good luck.
Okay. Thank you.
Old illegal dumping. I'm such a juvenile when it comes to bathroom humor. All right, let's go to second marriage, and then Adam I-130. Hello, second marriage.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you for your time and for taking my call.
Sure.
Okay, I have two questions. First, I have been married once, and I submitted a petition for my first husband. He obtained his citizenship via our marriage, and we ended up divorced, and that was finalized 8 years ago. I'm married now a second time, going through a second petition. And I know a lot of times in your videos, you talk about requesting the FOIA. So I did that to try to obtain the documents from my first marriage. And my attorney assisted with the FOIA request. And it was essentially like denied, saying because I'm a US citizen, I couldn't obtain a record of that original petition. So I wanted to know if that sounded right to you or incorrect, and if there would be something else I would need to do to try to get a copy of that petition.
Well, first of all, whether or not someone's a citizen or not is not the proper basis of an approval or denial of a FOIA, right? So just because you're a US citizen doesn't mean you don't have FOIA rights. You definitely have the right to get a copy of the I-130 petition that you filed for your spouse. Everything else is probably more in your spouse's file than yours. You could probably push to get the I-130, but I don't think you're going to get much either way as the U.S. citizen. I think when I say those things, that's usually for the beneficiary. So
Okay.
I don't think you're going to find much of value on an 8-year-old green card case, because 90% of it goes to the beneficiary, not the petitioner.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I understand. And I didn't really have a ton of concerns, to be honest, on the first petition.
Yeah.
And there's not much information that I don't recall that was probably included. I just kind of wanted to CYA prior to ever getting an interview for my current marriage, just to make sure I was aware of everything. But I agree with what you're saying. My second question is this. My first marriage, like I mentioned, my husband had obtained his citizenship from our marriage. And our marriage ended the same year that he obtained his citizenship. So he obtained it like February or March, and our divorce was finalized in December. I'm wondering what kind of questions I should or could be prepared for in this second interview if there was a question that came up around that timeline from my first marriage, and that it ended, within the same year of him obtaining his citizenship.
Are the two spouses from the same country?
No.
Did you know the second spouse at all during the first marriage?
No.
Were either of your spouses out of status at the time that you filed for them?
Yes, the second one.
Okay. I mean, the problem is not so much that it's a second marriage. The problem is that the Trump administration thinks everybody's lying to them. So
Right.
They're going to be convinced. I would say this isn't an actual rule, but I would say that you have to prove it by clear and convincing evidence. So I would say most people have to prove that it's a real marriage 51-49. You have to prove it like 65-35.
Yeah, and I'm actually not concerned with with having to prove my current marriage. I have a lot of evidence. I know you asked like 1 to 10. I would say like probably a 9, if not a 10. I don't know what a 10 would look like, but if in my mind, I would say probably at least a 9 for sure. I guess, yeah. And I'm also not afraid of answering questions about my first marriage. I guess I don't know how much they will dig into that timeline. And, my current spouse certainly knows everything about that previous marriage. If we were to get questions about that, I guess that's kind of really my only concern, is would they dive deep into that timeline and ask me questions?
How long were you and that first person married?
We were married 6 years. We were together for 9.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to be too worried about marriage number 1. And that person became a citizen already, so I don't think you have much to worry about.
Okay, then I think you've answered all my questions, so I really appreciate your time and your clarity. Thank you so much.
Good luck, my friend. Let me know how it goes, okay?
All right, I will. Thank you.
Yep, for sure. All right, we're going to go over to TikTok. Rugalkerker says, I'm married and I don't know the first step to take. Interesting. Well, the first question, I guess, would be, where's your spouse? Is your spouse in the United States or outside? That's going to be a big determining factor. Number two, if they're in the United States, are they out of status? Number three, have you either been married before? Number four, have you ever filed an immigration benefit for anybody else? So I would say, if I were you, what I would do is I would check out our YouTube channel, look for at Hacking Law Practice on YouTube. And we have so many videos on what to do when you get married. But I will make a video just with this topic because I like that question. I like how you framed it. So check us out on YouTube. I'm going to go to Adam I-130, F2B, and then Otto. Hello, Adam.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I have very interesting story for you.
Okay.
Let's start. I entered United States in 2016 in B1, B2 visa, tourist. But I am a Muslim. I come from Palestine, but I am a gay guy. So
Mhm.
when I come here, I never know I have to do asylum because I come when I am 25 years old. I don't know the law. I not understand English that well. I was by myself in this country. Like it was a lot is going on. And you know, to be gay and suddenly you come to something open, you not see it before in your life. Also, it's something like, oh my God. So I get scared for beginning and I apply for my asylum, I think in 2020 or 2018, I'm not sure. But when I was doing my visa in my country in Palestine, they asked me one question. They told me, you married? And I say yes, but I not apply for any paper over there because somebody he told me, you just say what I told you to do. You pay me $2,000 and this all what you answer whatever I told you. He filed all my application. He put it the paper. I not give the government any paper from mine. He give everything. So after that, they when I have the interview for the asylum, they ask me, have you ever lied to the government? I say yes. They told me, what do you lie? I told them, somebody when I come to make my visa to US, he told me to do all this thing, to say this and that, and pay him $2,000. And I really want to go in either way because I am a gay guy in a Muslim country. It's no way it's happened. So I have to lie to get out from there. So after I get that, after I come here, I make my asylum. They refuse my asylum for one reason. They not mention the lie. They say we like the lady. She was interviewing me. She told me, "I believe you 100%, but the rules is rules, and you come after 1 years, like from you entering. Like I already go after 4 years from my entering." So she told me, "I can't help you. You have to go to court." Anyway, after that, I get married. I apply for my green card and my green card did get waived and I get my green card without interview. And now I applying for my 10 years green card. I already apply and I am just in a waiting list. But my question is, when I apply for my citizenship, the lie is gonna show up, or they already knows I was married when I was lie because they already have it in the system. I see it in the asylum and they see it in my visa application. So what do you think I should do?
So here's my question. Do you have a copy of your green card application?
Did I have copy for my green card application?
Right now, do you have a copy of the green card application that you filed with the government?
No, it's with my lawyer.
Okay, so on your I-45, did you, there's questions in there. Have you ever lied to U.S. government official? Have you ever lied to get an immigration benefit? Have you ever lied or given any information to the U.S. government that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Did you say yes or did you say no?
To be honest, my lawyer he's filed, but I told her about the lie. I told her I was lie, and this the story. I want you to understand before you apply. But all the time she start mentioning to me, don't worry about the lie. Don't worry about the lie. It's not gonna go like it's nothing is gonna happen. You're done with that. She all the time saying like that. I told her, you know what? If it is like that, I trust in you. But I don't know she put it or she don't. But I told her make sure to show what I say for them because I want everything is showing the truth.
So you didn't answer my question. Does the 45 say that you lied to them, or does the 45 not say that you lied to them?
To be honest, I really don't know what she put.
Well, I bet you $10 that she didn't disclose the prior lie. And you said, well, first of all, you have a habit of blaming other people for false information that's in your documents. You are responsible for what you put on your visit visa. You are responsible for what's on your 485. So you can try to blame everybody else, but you're the one that signed those forms either electronically or in ink.
Yeah, that's the truth. You're right.
So
Yes.
you have a big problem because you should not have gotten that green card. The green card asks. So it's interesting because I thought you were going to ask me a different question earlier. I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe that any way you can get to the United States and apply for asylum, you can lie, you can sneak your way in, you can sneak in. I think that when it comes to asylum, you can do just about anything to get into the United States. You can say you're somebody else. You can do whatever you want, and it's forgiven when you get asylum. But I have been seeing more and more lately people just like you who applied for asylum, maybe they even got asylum, but then they got married to somebody else. And USCIS will say, well, we might have given you asylum even though you lied to us, but we can't give you a green card because you lied to us. So I bet $10 that your lawyer who told you don't worry about the lies, in fact, helped you hide the fact that you lied, and that when USCIS approved your marriage-based green card without an interview, that they did that because they didn't know that you had lied to them at your visit visa interview. So I think you're in big trouble, actually.
So what do you think I should to do now?
I think you should not apply for citizenship.
I should apply for my citizenship or no?
You should not apply for citizenship.
Never, or just like it through.
Well, here's what I would say. You need to get a copy of your green card, and you need
Okay.
to see if it says yes, I lied to get my way into the United States, or it says no, I've never lied to the government. If you got a green card based on a lie, then you can never get your citizenship. And if you apply for your citizenship, they will deny your citizenship, and they will take your green card, and they will put you in deportation.
Even like if I do waiver.
There's no waiver for citizenship. What you needed a waiver. You should have gotten a waiver. You should have been honest on your 45. Then they would have asked you for the waiver, but you kept them from being able to even ask you for a waiver by hiding the fact that you lied your way into the United States.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If I do now reapply for my case.
Reapply for your green card?
Yes.
They won't know what to do with it because they've already approved it.
Oh my God. So I am stuck in my 10 years green card.
And I would say you're very, very lucky to have that. Because technically you shouldn't have it at all. You lied about the two most important things, and you lied at the two most important junctures. You lied to get a visit visa to the United States, and you lied to get your green card. If you had told the truth on your 485, they might have asked you for a waiver. They probably would have asked you for a waiver, and you might have been entitled to one. But now you've cut off their ability to investigate your case by not disclosing the lie. And you can't say, well, I admitted it in my asylum case, so you should have known it in my green card case. That's not how things work. You can't rely on that. You have a duty to answer those questions honestly every time they are asked. If they ask you 10 times if you've ever lied to the government, and you say yes 9 times, but you lie the 10th time, they'll get you for that. So I think you're in big trouble. Are you there? All right. He didn't like that. He's out of here. All right, we're going to go to F2B case, then Otto, then awaiting approval. F2B case, hello.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for letting me in.
Sure, how you doing?
Good, thank you. All right, so just want to quickly run you down with my case. F2B petition filed by my mother in November of 2016. Got the I-130 approval in 2018. Applied for adjustment of status in 2022 when the dates of filing got current. I've been in the US since 2013. No unlawful presence has been accrued, always maintained lawful status. And what has transpired since then is in 2022, lawyer filed for a 485, which is pending. Also filed for a 765 and advanced parole as well, which is approved. In July of 2023, I got a notice from NVC about a case creation. Following it in July of 2024, received a 203G from NVC. And now we're in July 2025. I read a post online about someone, and they were explaining the same situation they were in. And they were saying that the 485 was somehow impacted by the 203G. And so I reached out to NVC based on what I read and what they did using the public inquiry form. And they came back with the generic response of not making contact within a year. Mind you, when I did get those notices from NVC, I told my lawyer about it, and he said to disregard those because now I'm in the US and 45 is with USCIS. So I'm just trying to understand my situation here. I haven't received anything. My I-130 is still approved. I-1 has been pending since the 203G that I received in July 2024. I have also renewed my 765 after that. Have also renewed my advanced parole after that. So I'm just trying to understand where this position is. What's this situation looking like for me?
How have you maintained your status all this time?
Did a bachelor's, then had a OPT, then STEM OPT, then enrolled in a master's, graduated, and then while I was graduating, within my last month, I got eligible to file for 485, and so I've never accrued any unlawful presence.
Okay, great. And then what is the priority date on the I-130?
It is November of 2016.
So the final action date is current for you?
No, its final action date is October 2016.
Yeah, they're on October 16, and you're November of 2016?
Correct.
Okay. So, and when you filed for the green card, how long had it been since you'd had any contact with anyone at USCIS or the NBC?
When I filed in 2018, so I, on my own, because I also had a simultaneous petition for my younger brother was F2A. So I had just a habit of just going in to the account and just logging in. That's pretty much the only contact I've made. And I would just go into the portal just to see if anything changed or not. But obviously, that's pretty much it. That's the only contact. And then my lawyer, and then what had happened was I had a lawyer up until 2022, and he retired. He transferred my case to another lawyer. And so I'm not sure if he may maintain any contact, but on my own, all I can tell you is I kept logging in into SEAC just to see what's going, if there's anything going on in there. That's pretty much it.
Okay. So what I would say is it's hard to say exactly what your status is. USCIS is frankly not used to or built for F2B cases where the beneficiary has been in the United States for a really long time. I've handled those cases, but in my whole career in 17 years, I've probably had less than 10. which means USCIS probably doesn't get many of those because most people just can't maintain that status for so long, right? So what I would say is if in the next visa bulletin, your number becomes current and then a month or two goes by and you don't have a decision from them, I would call me up and say, Jim, I want to sue them to get my green card because I think that their systems aren't really well built for situations like this. The times that I've gone to interviews on cases like this, the officer looked at me and asked for help in what they're supposed to do. They're like, I don't know why they scheduled this for an interview. Sometimes they do the interview even before the final action date is available. And they say, well, we got to rerun security checks. We got to rerun all this stuff. So I think that their systems don't handle this very well. So I think you might be waiting a lot longer. Does that make sense? If you
I
don't,
know, but yeah. So I don't. So one question that I want to ask based on what you said, filing a lawsuit only becomes applicable when the final action date is current, correct?
that's
Before
what
that,
I mean, you could do it now, but I wouldn't do it now because there's no guarantee it's going to jump. You're only a month or two away, I think. So I think next month you'll probably get current, and then that's when. And I would give them a month or two to see if they're going to process the green card now that your final action date is current. That's why I said don't do it right away. But if a couple months go by after it becomes current and nothing's happened, then I would sue them.
yes, but my underlying question is a little different. I was saying, what about those notices that I've been receiving from NVC about termination and all of that stuff?
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
And that's what I was what I was hoping was that you would tell me that there was never a more than 12-month period where there was no communication between you and the federal government. That's what I was saying. So like if we could argue, well, he filed for his green card and let you know that he was going to adjust, so therefore NVC shouldn't have terminated his I-130. I hope that that's the winning argument, but I don't know for sure, which is why you can't find an answer.
Right. And then obviously my lord didn't do anything about it because he himself is just like, you should disregard anything that comes from NVC. This is exactly what he said.
Well,
So
I wouldn't have been that flippant about it. I would have probably said once you got your receipt notice on your 45, I probably would have notified NVC. I wouldn't have just said, let's ignore whatever NVC says. I would have affirmatively tried to move things to let them know what your current plan was. I don't think they did anything wrong, but that's probably what we would have done.
okay. So just to wrap it up, you're basically saying I should just wait and watch and see what the outcome of this whole situation becomes.
I think that's all you can do. And I think that might be another reason why you have to sue, because you might have to, they might be arguing that you didn't do anything on time. And so therefore they just sit on the case because they don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I reached out. So I did since then. I've also done like an inquiry online, and every time I've done it in the past year, after that termination notice that I received, they've always been like, your date is not current for adjudication.
Right. Which is why I said I wouldn't do much until, any proof that you can demonstrate later on that you've communicated and filled them in on what you're doing is helpful. But I think that's right. I don't think they're going to do any meaningful work on your case when they know there's no visa they can issue you right now.
Right. So I wouldn't really know the status of my position until someone really, my date is current and someone really looks into my file.
Right. Okay.
Did I lose you? I'm so sorry.
I said right. I said, yeah, that's right.
Cool. Okay. Well, and then in the case of suing them, you're saying I should reach out to obviously your law firm to understand the next steps.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to waste your money on a lawsuit if they actually take action on it in the first 60 or 90 days after your priority date becomes current, right? So I think we give them a chance to see what's happening. I think maybe a month after you start calling them and bothering them to see what happens, and then go from there.
Cool. Okay. Should I be concerned? Should I lose my sleep over it?
No, I think you're okay.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. This is very helpful.
Yep. I always like to clean things up. So if someone gets divorced, I like to notify everybody they're divorced. So if they get married with an approved I-129F, I like to let them notify that. If they're going to consular process and then they switch to adjust status, I like to notify everybody just so that things are properly documented. Again, I don't think the attorney did anything wrong, but I don't think it's good to leave things hanging out there on the vine. Otto is here. Hello.
Mr. Hacking, how are you?
I'm great, Otto. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So just a quick background. So I came to the U.S. on a J-1 visa on January 2022. And the same year, in October 2022, I received and approved, or I was approved for TPS. I had concurrent TPS and J-1 visa up to March 2024. Then J-1 is terminated in March 2024. I continued only on TPS. I got married to a green card holder on January 2025. And in March, and my priority date for, I submitted the I-130, and priority date is March 2025. Now, based on the visa bulletin, I am eligible to file the adjustment of status in August of this year. So I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind, about that. So on the page 14 of the adjustment of status form, there's a question about item 13. It says, have you ever violated the terms or condition of your non-immigrant status? So I worked based on the EAD that was given to me on TPS, but at the same time, I was on J-1 research visa, and that visa does not allow me to work outside the university, but I was working based on the TPS. How should I answer that question?
The answer to that question is yes.
Okay, and should I explain that?
Yes.
Okay. Great. The next question for item 18, have you ever applied for any kind of relief, protection from removal or deportation? Is TPS considered yes or no for this question?
I would probably have to research it, but I think the answer is yes.
Gotcha. So I have, so if I so my current, I am still in a status. If I submitted my adjustment of status package next month, and my TPS, if not be renewed, it will be terminated at the end of September. So my question is, will I be able to have an EAD by the end of September, and can I use it even if it's like the only status I'm gonna have, assuming that the TPS will be terminated?
No, I don't think you'll get an EAD by the end of September.
And I will not have any EAD. That's what you think?
Yes.
Just because I am married to green card holder?
No, because it takes more than a month to get an EAD.
So my question is, let's say it came after 4 months. Can I use it or not?
I don't know. I'd have to research that. This is a very complicated fact pattern that you're asking me, and I don't know the answers off the top of my head.
Gotcha. The last question I have, I am just thinking about staying in status. So there is an offer for me for a J-1 visa for the same university I was working with, but different department. And I don't know if I can do this inside the U.S. Given the fact that I submitted I-130. So can I switch TPS to J-1 visa?
Probably not. They're probably not going to let you because you've demonstrated immigrant intent and because I don't know if TPS is an adequate bridge to get you from the old J1 to the new one. So I would say the chances of success on that are low.
Gotcha. And this is obviously different than F1 visa. Is it the same, or is it easy to F1 versus J1?
I think it's the same.
I see. All right, that's all I have. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, good luck. All right. Awaiting approval. Hello. Awaiting approval. Are you there? We can't hear you. I'm going to go to Richie, and then I'm going to go to PD. Richie, hello.
Jim.
Hi, Richie. How you doing?
I'm good. I was on your show last week, but I had a quick question. All right, so my I-130 petition from my wife went in. I'm waiting on USCIS and then you told me that it's going to take about 14 to 17 months, depending. But my question now is, can a job opportunity came, could I apply for a work visa whilst having the I-130 petition pending, and I've been applying out of Jamaica? Would that go against me, or
what kind of work visa do you think you might get?
H-1B?
Okay, so there are no H-1Bs available until October of 2026.
Okay.
The H-1Bs for October 2025 are already gone.
Okay. So that would, okay. And would there be any, because, well, no. I think that would be okay. So I'd have to tell the employer then that it would be for next year. There's no other visa that I could qualify for.
What's the job?
Well, it's a hospitality company that needs workers, and they want them for a 3-year period.
What's the job though?
Well, I would be working with the kitchen staff.
Yeah, so that's not a specialty occupation, so that wouldn't be eligible for an H-1B anyway.
Okay, it wouldn't. All right then, Jim. I think that. But is there any other whilst waiting on the I-130 to be processed? There's no other way?
Nope, you're just waiting. Yep,
just waiting. All right then. Thank you so much.
Bye, Richie. See ya. Let's go back, see if awaiting approval got their audio working. Hello, are you there? Oh, they're having audio problems. They'll have to call back in. All right, we went to Richie. Let's go to PD. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for everything you do. I actually got approved with my naturalization, so I'm gonna be getting my oath soon. So I would like to thank you for that, because from the beginning until now, I watch your video and get into your call and ask questions. I really appreciate everything you do, and thank you so much for that.
That's great. Can we add you to our list of 10,000 people that we helped get citizenship?
Of course.
Awesome. I'll tell the team. That's great. Thanks, PD. What can I help you with?
So my brother gets sponsored, I think, with his jobs. And while he was doing the process, he added his son that is back home. But he got his green card. But he keep getting an email every, I think, 3 months saying that his son paper were documentarily completed since, I believe, last year in March. So we are still waiting on the visa appointment, but we don't know if there is anything we can do to accelerate the process.
So this is the child of your brother?
Yes.
Your brother is a green card holder?
Yes, he is.
How did your brother get his green card? Through marriage?
No, through his work.
Through his work. Okay. How old is his child that we're talking about?
Oh, he was 17 at the time that the document get approved, like documentary completed, but now he's 18. He's turning 18 now.
And when did your brother file the I-130 for his son, your nephew?
Uh, I believe it was in 2023 when his company was filing for him. They filed for both of them at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Are you sure?
I believe so. I believe that's what he told me. I believe so. Yeah.
And when your brother was going through this process, was he in the United States or outside the United States?
No, he was here. He was in United States. Yeah.
Okay. And so the I-130, well, I would need to see. Can you send me the paperwork that your brother has about his son and let me take a look at it? Because I need to check on a couple things.
Okay. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that.
Just email and send it to me, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Awesome. Thanks for the call.
No problem. Thank you.
And congrats. Let us know when you get your citizenship. Send us a picture, okay?
Sounds good. I will do that.
Bye, buddy. All right. Well, we love that. Hey, I have some good news. Today, when I checked into the Westin here in Dallas, Texas, I got here sort of midday. It was nice. I got my room early, and my man Elmer from the Philippines helped me out. And he was checking me in, and he's like, I know you've been here before. I recognize your face. And I said, well, I've never. He kept saying that he was sure that he had seen me. I was like, Elmer, I've never been here before. So he said, I know you. I know you. I know you from somewhere. And I said, well, do you, and a lot of people that work at hotels do so on J1s. And I said, well, do you ever watch any immigration stuff on YouTube? And he said, no. And he said, but that's it. He said, I see you on TikTok. You're on my screen. So he pulled up his TikTok and there I was. So let's take a look. I got to see Elmer and I got to take our picture together, so that was fun. There we are, me and Elmer. How about that? So Elmer told me that he just got approved for his green card based on marriage. So Elmer was here on a J, and then he married a U.S. citizen. So he is now a green card holder. So isn't that great? And we're happy for Elmer, and we're happy that he said hello. So remember, if I'm ever out and about and you see me, always come up and say hi. I always like to say hi to people, especially those friends from TikTok or from YouTube. So that was great. That made me happy. Elmer is a very happy fellow.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
sir. Hi, Jamaica. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. I have a question. I came to the US last year with refugee application. On February this year, my coworker puts a protective order against me, which was last only for 3 months, and it's expired on June. So I'm getting ready to apply for a green card with the I-485. So do I need to disclose it, or it's because it was just a civil case?
Why did your coworker get a protective order against you?
She say he's contacting me like that.
And was that true?
It was not, but there was some text, so she just put it as evidence
Okay. And were the police involved?
for serving.
They served the protective order on you, but you weren't arrested or anything.
No. I didn't charge it. I didn't arrest it. I didn't fingerprint it or something. It's just pure civil.
Yeah, I would say that I would get a complete copy of that file
Mhm.
and have it certified and bring it to your interview. I wouldn't bring it up, but they might know about it, so be ready to talk about it.
Okay, but I don't need to disclose it on.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That's it?
Yep. Thank you. I really appreciate.
All right. Good luck. All right. We're going to go to Happy Man, then interview attended, then One Blue Sky. Happy Man, hello.
Hey Jim, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I am happy, like I've stated.
Tell me
Um,
about your green card.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, obviously, I appreciate your show. I think I've been listening for years. This is the first time calling in, but your show really helped me. So the quick timeline is that we applied on, sorry, in October last year, 2024, marriage-based green card, and then we got our interview on the 3rd of July, July 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Just before 4th of July.
Great.
Um, yeah, and the interview went well. First of all, went into the interview and then the officer first of all said, "Okay, I'd like to speak to your wife first." Took me out, so I went out. So I was like, "Wow, it's gonna be a stocks interview." And 10 minutes later, he came back and then picked me up. Then I went back, just asked me like probably like two questions about because I was married prior to my
Mm-hmm.
current marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just asked me if I was married before, if I had any kids, and if my spouse has any kids, which they obviously my answer was yes, I was married before, but no other kids. And then he was like, okay, that's fine, let's go pick up your spouse. And so we went out, picked her back, and then came back and sat there. And it seemed like it was gonna be a tension thing, but it was really calm. And he started just joking and just talking about holidays. It seems, I think I remember the words that you always say that the key to an interview is the US citizen. Because I
Yep.
think my wife knocked it out the park when she was in there because he asked several questions if we travel, and she was like, hey, do you want me to tell you the download of all the travels we've done? And she just began to tell him everywhere we've been and some of the places he's been to, and they just started talking and chatting. But then also, I think the other thing that helped was the fact that I think we had good evidence, that is for one. And after that, we sat in there and he was like, I'm not really asking you quite a number of questions like I usually do. We were the first ones like 7:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so one crazy thing that happened. It almost scared us, but nothing serious. So one of the like a security guy knocked, and so whilst during the interview, and this security opens up, and then he's like, "Do any one of you have like, are you the owner of like a marker, like a pen?" And the officer was like, "Really? That's odd." And so my lawyer was like, "Oh, we thought maybe that was a code word for ice or something." And so
Oh
he
shit.
laughed. He's like, he laughed. He's like, nah. I was like, did he really have to come and interrupt us with that? And we just started chatting. He was it was just one weird moment, but forgot about it. But then when it came to the approval, he kind of like separated. Obviously, you could see this is the I-130 and this was the 485.
Yeah.
And he asked me all those security questions and whatnot, but there was
Yeah.
no other further questions. But then the key part was he turned around, he was like, everything is fine. I only have one issue. And the issue was because I had come I had a B1, B2, and it expired, then I got another one, then came back, visited. I'd been to the US several times. But then when I got the final one that I got, then came back, I was married then. But then at the time that I was married, we were like going through separation. And so he was like, I'm wondering whether you were separated then and um, if there was like you were not being truthful. But then he himself argued with himself. He was like, anyway, I don't think it's an issue because even if the form does not indicate whether you're separated or married, it just said you're
Right.
married and you were still married. And I can't prove that you were giving false information because no one will ask you if you're separated, or they will never ask you if your marriage is on rocks or anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm approving your green card. And It should be in the mail anytime. And within a week, I had my green card. Now the crazy thing was my wife then was that as he after he says that he's like congratulations. Then my wife is like, we had so much evidence, like we have all these evidence. Do you need it? Like we prepared everything. He's like, nah, I don't need it. I believe you guys. You guys are good. And
That's
that's
the
how,
best. That's the
yeah,
best.
that was really good. And I really appreciate your show. I definitely hope everybody keep listening and more people. I keep introducing more people to you that it's very educative. And anybody who's out there that is thinking, hey, I can do it by myself. No, you need a lawyer, you need the right people around you. Be prepared, be ready. But then also like for me, because we were confident and we knew what we were doing, I think it really, really helped us. Yeah. So I really appreciate you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it. I love it when people call back and tell us how it went. So thanks. You just
Sure.
helped a lot of people out.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Anytime.
See
Have a
ya.
good day too. Thank you. All right.
Yep.
Bye.
I sure have fun doing this show. When I started the YouTube channel, it was because I read this book called Tribes by Seth Godin. I don't know if you guys have ever read any Seth Godin, but I really like him. And he talked about building a tribe, getting like-minded people together and sharing information and giving away your best stuff. And everything he said in that book has come true. I feel really lucky that people care enough about what we're doing to call back here and help the people behind them. You know, I love the idea that we help the people that are a little bit behind us and we don't forget the people behind us. So I really appreciate calls like that. All right. One Blue Sky. Hello.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. About 3 weeks ago on a Sunday morning, I called you on a live show, and I was the guy who was freaking out because my place of birth was mismatched from my DS 160 to I-30 and 485.
The village, different
Yeah,
village. Yep.
yeah, Jim. Jim, I'm calling back to your office to really kind of thank everyone, including yourself, that on 15th of July I received my green card, and this issue never came up. Just like how you predicted, that sit back, relax. This is not a big deal.
Awesome. Love it.
And one more thing that whatever you do behind this computer, wherever you are in a hotel or in a backyard, it really have a strong it really have a very strong impact on these immigrant life, I would say. And I'm one of them, and I'm very thankful that you're out there to do what you do. And I hope this phone call will let other people know that things happen as an immigrant, and there is remedy available, and your office is there, other offices are there, but making sure getting the sound advice is the number one thing in these cases.
Awesome. I'm glad it all worked out. I'm glad you got your green card.
Thank you, Jim. I'll let the phone go now, so you can take another phone call, and I'm
Thanks
on the
for the
call
call.
listening. Thank
All
you.
right, stay
Bye.
in touch. Stay in touch.
I
Appreciate it.
will. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. How about this? So many approvals today, Dammy says. Congratulations. We are glad. And I made a video a couple weeks ago that said, hey, they're still approving green card cases. They're still moving. They're actually moving pretty fast on cases. They're clearing out that backlog. Not what I anticipated, but I'm glad to be wrong. We appreciate that call from One Blue Sky and from Happy Man. Those are the kind of calls we like to get. Interview attended. Hello.
Hey Jim, good to speak to you again.
Awesome. What's up?
Doing great. Remember I called you last month and June earlier. Well, we attended the interview and how it's go. I just want to share you and have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So we actually prepared all the evidence according to we downloaded the list on your website for the marriage-based green card, etc. Whatever the evidence to prepare for. Once we enter in the interview, officer was a little bit mad, unfortunately. And once we just get in and show the ID and everything, and interview started asking question about, first of all, she asked for my spouse. How did you meet? What's his parents' name and where do they live? And then she turned to me and asked me about the question, how how did I enter in United States and what visa, and there's anything related, any pending application, which was like an asylum. And she asked the date when it was submitted at asylum. So she figured out like I was overstayed, and we have an evidence ready. I just wanted to. She just asked that what you have to add and if you have something to add. So we have um, jointly file, jointly tax and affidavit from friends, joint bank statement, expenses, credit card, utility bill, phone bills, photograph together as well, post together, like couple years or more than 2 years back, and all call logs and chats, etc., and travel and mails under both of our name or invitation from the families, etc. So first of all, she just gets some documents like generally only affidavits and tax and bank statement, and she was just going through with some transactions, and she asked that what is that, where this means, just confirming that what this transaction means. She just picked the very big amounts transactions. So I mentioned like it was my inventory, which I do a business on Amazon. So that was payment to the Emerson and all these. Well, she gets some documents, but not all of the evidence. And later on, she just wanted to see all of them. So she went through, like, did not scan it, but she went through the chat and pictures, photograph, posts, etc., many things. And she was just confirming the question. I mean, in I-485, the question all which she have to, you also mentioned that they go through with the question to confirm all these things. So, in the last moment, she said like, if you have anything to add. I mean, she get pretty much good mood after going through the evidence and all the interview, and she asked that if you have anything to add or you have something to say, you want to have any question. So actually, I just asked, I wanted to correct that, which was added, overstay and the work without authorization. I did not work like in a physically activated, but I do in a business, like opening, registering LLC and selling on Amazon, which I consider that is not illegal, but I came to know and I wanted to correct it. So she said, uh, responded like, it's not a problem. So I wonder like, okay. So I just wanted, she said, thank you very much for being proactive. I like it, but it's not a problem. So she just handed us a document, which I hear also on your TikTok video, a piece of paper which is called hand delivered at interview. Your case is being held for review. So that's what we get it, and it's been now 35 days. So we didn't hear anything, and on the portal is still showing the interview is scheduled, nothing changed there. So I just want to make sure that if there is something we should expect a second stroke interview or something, any RFE or something else. So I just wanted to prepare it before the time, and can also confirm that we should let you know ahead of time if we required anything, so we align our times and availability of your team.
So what was your what was your status before you filed?
Pending asylum.
Oh, right, you said that. And just to be clear, did you say that the officer actually asked your spouse about your asylum case?
No, she asked me.
You, okay. She didn't ask your spouse about that.
No.
Okay. Is there anything in your asylum case that you're worried about that might not be totally true or that might be an exaggeration?
This is absolutely true, because it's a incident happened with me, and I came here to the tourist visa, and I have many other evidence that I was trying to go back, but unfortunately I could not go back to my country. But the third country was Qatar, Middle East. I was doing a very well job, and unfortunately my ID was cancelled, and I really tried to retain another visa, but unfortunately cannot get it, and I was ended up here being overstayed.
So let me ask you this question. If you had to guess, why do you think the officer didn't approve it on the spot or hasn't approved it in the last 30 days?
Um, I'm not sure actually. I try to think about, but I'm not sure. And there was a question to my spouse, was the last petition she had submitted for foreign spouse, and he took off after the submission, and she served him and get divorced. And it was not a very long distance between that, because it was just like 3 to 4 years difference. Her petition before the petition, like before my petition.
3 to 4. I mean, the case she had an earlier case for a prior spouse 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
And
fiance.
did that person come to the United States?
That person came to United States after filing, after getting EAD and getting filed the I-485. After, within just 2 3 days, he took off and he never turned back. And she give him a time that come back. I mean, what's going on? And he was just putting allegations on her that you have to put your house under my name, and this and that. And she said, you are not living with me, and you did not even tell me when you leave, and you just took off. So
What about
basically,
you? Were you married back home or no?
no, I'm not. I was never married before.
So this is your first marriage and your wife's second marriage.
Yeah.
Did the officer say anything to your wife about her prior marriage?
Yeah, she asked about that. What's your last husband name, and then what happened? And she asked also that, did you have ever petitioned before any foreigner? She said yes. So what happened with that petition? She said, we withdrawn it. Unfortunately, this happened. The same story which I tell you, like this happened, and um, that's how we met, because she came New York to serve, and he was also living in the same apartment I was living, because of knowing that person. And he took off from there too after 3 weeks, and she ended up there. And I said, the person is not living here. So that's how I come to know her, and I was trying to let her know all the updates if I hear from him anything, but nothing. And that's how we came to know. So that's, then she ended up serving him in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. Are you
Yeah.
from the same? Are you from the same country as her?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Well, is she a natural born American citizen, or is she from back in the old country?
No, she's American citizen.
And how did she meet? How did she meet you?
She met me in New York when she tried to serve this spouse, her ex-spouse. So she got the address somehow. She ended up there, and I was the one who just show up there. And she asked this person. I said, the person was here, but he already gone from here. He was just temporary here. So then she
So you,
told this,
so you
yeah,
actually, so you actually met her ex-husband.
yeah, I met her ex-husband actually.
Okay.
So and actually officer even asked that, do you know him, or he was your friend? I said, no, I do not know him, and he's not at all my friend. I barely know him for when he came here, and then he took off from there. So she knows the address that where he went in New York, and from there he again took off to Mississippi, and she ended up coming there to serve him. Unfortunately, he was not there, and I said, okay, I can serve him if I can get his address or something. I came to know that he is living somewhere nearby me. Unfortunately, it was not, and then I sent her documents back to her address. So she ended up going back to Mississippi when she came to know that he is living there. So she served him there.
Wait, does the officer know about all this? That you were involved in serving her ex-husband with papers on the divorce?
Yeah, she knows that, because she came to know that. It's how I came to meet her, and how I came to know her when she came there to serve him documents, and he was living at the same address.
Wait, she came there, or she hired someone to serve him there?
No, she came there. She drove there from Michigan to New York.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's I I guess she thinks that it's better to go and serve him myself.
Like she was trying to find him.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what you're telling me is that I have a lady who applied for someone to come to the United States, got him a fiance visa. Once he
Yep.
got here and got his green card, then he left town, and then she hires you to try to find him, and she met you in the process of trying to serve him with divorce papers, and then you ended up marrying her while your asylum case is pending, and then she applied for a green card for you.
No, I want to make you clear here. It's a little confusion. So he does not get a green card. First of all, she withdraw all application, and
Okay.
he probably have a WAWA right now pending or whatever. It's the status. We don't know about that. The rest of I don't know what she think. I told, like, I try to help her that okay, you can leave the document or I can find it out for you that to serve him. And even I mentioned that when the person reached there and he told me that he was saying like this happened with me and all these. So I even tried to talk to that person, her ex-spouse, that you want me to try to both of you settle like a patch up to settlement, that you go back and all these. But he said, no, I don't want to go back and all these. But that's how I explain everything, what was happening there.
So let's back up to the time period before she came looking for this guy, right?
Yeah.
We're just going to call him John, okay?
Okay.
How long had it been between when you last saw John and she showed up?
John left 1st August. Sorry, not 1st August, 31st August or 30 August. And she show up there like 27th September.
So she's like 4 weeks too late for him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how long had you known John before all that?
Hello?
Yeah, how long had you known John before he left town?
I never knew him when he arrived there. Actually, I was living with somebody. I mean, rented a room in his apartment. So that person, his friend, contact him that, hey, one of my friend is coming and he wanted to leave. Can you arrange for him a temporary? So that this apartment owner told me that, hey, there is a one guy coming. Can you open door for him? And if he was not around, he said, okay, let me know what his name and all these. So once he arrived, I came to know that who is this person, his name. I was not knowing at all him before.
Right. But you know John, right?
Yeah.
And if you saw John walking down the street, would you recognize him?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I'm trying to find out is, how did you know John before he left town? How did you meet him? What did you guys hang out with each other? What was the deal?
We were not hanging out with each other because he all day long he just sleep and I do some other work stuff and I just.
Right, but like, did you know each other for 3 days, 3 months, 3 years?
3 weeks only.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so when she came looking for John, you said, yeah, I know John.
Yeah, I said, like, I know this person, he came here.
Yeah.
And he left, but I don't know him really well, like personally knowing what his background, who is he, what he was doing, what his scenario. So
so she's bummed because she thinks she's coming to New York to find John, but instead she finds you.
So actually, we were just back and forth in contact. That I was trying to let her know that he is not here, and he's even he blocked me when I was trying to reach out to him and asking him that, hey, where are you? So he was
Wait,
not even
that's
telling me.
so that's a good point. Before John left, you had his cell phone number.
Yes, I have his left cell phone number.
So she shows up and you say, "Well, did you know he went to Mississippi, or did she figure that out, or what?"
I do not know when he left it. He told that he's going to California,
Mhm.
somewhere, Sacramento, stuff like that. He mentioned that clearly. I remember that. But he
Okay.
ended up he never he was a liar. Actually, he was always lying. I figured out later that how many lies he was even telling to the apartment owner.
Okay. So let me tell you what's going on the USCIS side of things from their perspective. Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
first of all, would you agree with me that this is a crazy story?
I think so. You
Yeah.
told me before that this is a little bit complicated.
Oh, we talked about this before. I don't remember this at all. I
Yeah,
don't.
I do. We do talk about, and I share you all the scenario that how I come, what happened, and
The
everything.
process server and all that stuff, or the trying to track him down to serve him with the divorce. We talked about that.
Um, I guess we talk.
Okay. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So USCIS. Okay. So first of all, this story is so crazy
Yeah.
that I actually believe it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This crazy, like nobody would ever think up this story, and think that USCIS is going to believe them. I think they think that you found a woman who likes to marry people and get them immigration benefits.
Probably. I mean, they can think about that. I mean, they probably thinking, or they think, or I don't know really.
I mean, you need to understand that in their book, someone who comes to the United States and doesn't leave on time and is out of status when they get married is almost the same as someone who comes to the United States, doesn't leave on time, applies for asylum and marries someone. So they don't really treat it all that differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in their mind, you're a guy who's here in the United States, out of status, you got an asylum case on file, it's not going anywhere, you don't have much going immigration wise, and then all of a sudden, knock, 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 this lady comes in and she tells you her story about how she married this guy, or she was engaged to this guy, got him a fiance visa, he shows up and disappears. And then in their mind, it's not much of a jump for you to sweet talk, promise, pay, convince, somehow get her to file an immigration benefit for you. So I think they're going to be sitting on this case for a long time.
I guess so. Yeah. So one more thing I just want, we did not right away married, but we were just really, I mean, like just back forth texting and call to update about him, his scenario, like I cannot serve him or I cannot find him or etc. And like 3 4 months, like become like friends, and then I mean we married like after a whole year.
Wait, so that's a
We
good question. How did you guys switch from being the dude trying to help her serve the guy for divorce to being her husband? Like, how does that? Was she living in another city? Did she come back to New York, or what happened?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you?
Yeah. How did you? So you're there. You're trying to help her out. You're trying to get this shitbird served with the divorce decree. You're trying to find him. He might be in California. Might be in Mississippi. So
Mm-hmm.
that's at one stage. And then sometime later, you're married. So if I'm an immigration officer and you tell me that's how we met, my question then is, how does it then become that she's your wife? Like, how did you start dating is the question.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that she came there to serve it. Then she invited, like, if you want to visit me, or if you want visit. I mean, we just came because there was something going on with our family, and she just said that if you want to come, okay, I would like to introduce you with my family as a friend. So I went there in November, for a couple days, and then I came back. She visited me then in December, around Christmas time, in New York. Then we ended up like we just came back together. She stayed there for a day only, and then she said, "Would you like to come with me for a Thanksgiving and uh, family dinner?" So we just traveled together back to Michigan here. So since then, I was living here, and then after like knowing very well, staying with each other in the same roof, and like 9, 10 months later, we decided to get married. So we get married. That's how it's all story created.
So, is there an age gap?
Yeah,
Who's older?
she's older,
How much older?
uh, around 15.
That's not the worst. Okay. And now you live together and everything's good with the marriage.
Yeah, yeah. We do
Man,
commingling. We have expenses together, everything, bills, stuff like that. Even she officer went through the um, statements, and she was checking the transaction, the house payments, the bills, and stuff like that. Yep.
and so what um like this would be the kind of case. Oh, I know. So did you move into her house, or do you have a lease, or what's the deal?
Oh, it's her house.
Her house. Okay.
Yep.
And so if they came and knocked on your door tomorrow at 5 in the morning, you both would be there?
Of course. I'm living here since a year and a half, more than a year and a half. Since I moved here, we are living together under the same roof.
Okay. So here's what I'll say. You have a really high burden to overcome in this case. They are going to be very, very, very suspicious. And so, bank statements, commingling, all that stuff's good. But man, if I were your lawyer, I would want 10 affidavits from people who know you as a couple, who see you regularly in whatever town it is you live in now. I think this is one where you've got to convince them much more than paper that this is a real relationship, because they are going to think you just married her to solve your immigration problem.
Absolutely. So we have 3 affidavits from families, friend and family, and the friend is my neighbor. We just have multiple time, and he knows we living together. And one is my friend is neighborhood, and 2 is from the family, and the rest of tax jointly filed and credit card, etc., etc.
I mean, this is why we do nighttime shows, because this is when we get crazy. This is a crazy case.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your question for me, big man?
So I actually that's the main question. As you said, this case is like really burden type. So my question is same, like it's been now 36 days, 37, 36
Oh,
days.
I think it might be 36 months before you get a decision.
No.
I'm serious. I think they're going to sit on it to see if the marriage falls apart. I'm 100% serious.
Oh, I see. I believe that they are doing with some cases.
Yeah, and I think site visit is almost for sure.
Okay.
So
We are waiting. If they visit, no problem.
yeah.
But at least do not just sit on the case and do nothing.
All right, brother. Well, if you get stuck and you get sick of waiting, let me know. We'll sue them, and then they'll come out for sure. Okay.
That's another thing that's why I want last time I contact, because your team was not available. So this time, that's why I want to add it. Like we should align the timing. If there is something happen, do I need to
When did you
do
file?
something in additional, or sorry?
When did you file?
We filed in 2024 October.
Yeah, so I would say if nothing by January, or what are we in now? July? Yeah, I would say if nothing in January, call me back, okay?
All right, that sounds good. So I mean, I should be patient. Like, is they are not gonna do something very soon?
I would keep building marriage evidence if I were you. That's what I would do.
Yeah, we are doing that. I mean, anything is happening, we just keep collecting in case they ask something else to prove it as well.
Awesome. All right, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Keep us
Appreciate that.
posted. Oh my gosh. There's some harsh comments in the comments, but I like this case. I think this, I mean, literally no one would make this shit up. It's just too crazy. Yeah, Johan, come back tomorrow. We're going to do a show. We'll do a show tomorrow. It's an airport show tomorrow, so I don't know when. It might be, depends on how long my interview goes tomorrow, but we'll do a show sometime, probably mid-afternoon tomorrow. Johan, come back, or send me an email and say you want to come on the show to talk about your case. We want to hear it. I liked him. And I mean, who says, how did you meet? Well, let me tell you, she filed a fiance case. He was a shitbird. He ditched her, and then she came looking for him, and she knocked on my door. Oh, Johan says we're not ready for their case. She knocked on my door, and we fell in love. I mean, that is something. We got to do a show about immigration. That's all there is to it. We just got to do a show. Like if we made that up, people would, I'm going to tell Amani about this. She just won't believe it. She'll yell at me on this one. She'll say, we're not taking that case. I don't know. I mean, I get overly optimistic about cases, I admit, but man, oh man. Tyler Perry movie, Dammy says. Anik says, love be blind. I think that's right. All right, everybody. That was an hour and a half show. That was a good one. Ended on a banger. Yusuf would be proud. I hope you guys all have a great night. Zia Kadir says, it's always nice to listen to the show. It makes me relax by hearing all the stories because people say, well, at least my case isn't that messed up. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Either tomorrow or Wednesday. Text the word show 314-470-3300, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Woo!
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
I mean,